Hey, my name is Andy. I'm here with John, and this is his 1989 Mercedes 190E. Let's go. How long have you had this car for?
I've had this car for 3 years.
3 years?
3 years, and I bought it with 128,000 K on the clock, so it was never been used.
Was it one owner car before you?
I'm pretty sure it was. The dealer that sold it to me said it was. So, he's a car salesman, so why do I have any reason to doubt him?
These cars in 1989 were, in fact, more expensive than houses. What was the sticker price for this?
So this was $88,000 without a sunroof and without metallic paint and all the rest of it. So as sold, it's probably close to 90 grand.
So 90 grand or 88 base price, about 195,000 in today's money. It's absolutely insane. And for that money, you got true Mercedes quality. Now, what I mean by that is when you go and open the door, you have solid sounding
Swiss bank vault quality.
That's exactly how you would describe it. It is so solid, it is so refined, whereas if you open a modern luxury car these days, it's kind of just a Coke can with some nice wood in it.
It's basically like throwing a cream pie in, the face of a seagull or something. I don't know. This is how you should drive a Mercedes, like an old Mercedes-Benz. So, armrest down, arm here, hands here.
I gotta say, with your hat, you look like a proper Mercedes owner.
Well, that's it. I look like I'm off to pick up the grandkids, don't I? And funnily enough, that's the type of person that bought this car when it was new back in 1989.
Absolutely.
If you were a young, upwardly mobile professional person, a yuppie, you bought a BMW 3 Series because it was $20,000 to $40,000 cheaper than this. There was no Mercedes-Benz finance, so if you didn't turn up with a briefcase full of cash, the dealer would just sort of look at you like, you've come to clean the toilets. So that's how it worked back in the day. Everything is designed to be functional on this car, right?
Is this functional?
Yes, that's functional. You line up pedestrians you don't like with it. You'll notice as well that the mirrors are a different shape. It's got asymmetrical mirrors, so the passenger side mirror is a little bit squarer, and that was designed to eliminate a blind spot.
The inside here just seems to be what is that?
Genuine 100% German plastic. It's not leather, it's called MBTEX, and it was a vinyl that Mercedes-Benz developed, I think in the 1950s or 60s or whatever, and it is literally indestructible. You can sit on those seats with screwdrivers and keys in your back pocket, and they just won't tear. I've seen cars rust around their interiors, and the interiors are perfectly fine, 50 years later. Inside, very light and airy cabin, and there's a lot of glass space around as well. If you sit inside the car and you have a look at where the three-pointed star is on these cars, Bruno Sacco, the designer, his idea with that was the three-pointed star rising over the horizon in the distance. So look at that.
That's incredible.
The horizon, the vanishing point of the bonnet lines, both sides, and the star coming up over the horizon. Everything about this thing is completely over-engineered. It might look ordinary, but everything is just solid. Like, I've got analog windows on this car, but look at this. Even to turn this is like, it's like stirring friggin' wholemeal bread dough.
Now I'm going to show you guys around the car in 3, 2, 1. One of the myths around owning a classic car is that they're really expensive. Is that true?
No, it's not. This car has actually cost me less to run than a Yaris over the last 3 years. If you are the sort of person that just loves to turn the key in the ignition, the car starts and you drive it, this is not for you straight away, right? But if you like getting your hands a little bit dirty, and if you like being part of car culture on some level, then old Benzes are definitely the way to go, because I use this on a daily basis. This is basically my work car. I've done 40,000 K in this thing over the last 3 years, and like I said, it's been cheaper to run than a Yaris.
I truly think that these cars just look so much better. Like, there are people out here buying Civics and Euro and JDM stuff, and I don't mind the JDM stuff, but personally I think you can't go wrong with a classic Benz or even a classic Beamer, because they're just nice, and especially when they're in beautiful condition like your car here. It's just something that, I think more people should get around, because everyone's all about these modified shit boxes. Are they difficult to work on? Not
really, no. I mean, these are semi-analog cars. So I do oil changes myself. I've done brake changes myself. I mean, I'm also very lucky that I know a mechanic, so anything major goes wrong, I can use this hoist and all that sort of stuff. You'll find that if you go and buy one of these cars, you'll find a way to cheat the dealers and the service technicians, because they're fairly easy to work on.
Can we go take this thing out for a drive? And see what it's
Absolutely.
like? All right, let's go. This, I'll never get over this. Just the sound when you close that door, it's just so solid. Check this out, by the way. This is so cool.
It tells you should be wearing your seatbelt like a good little German citizen.
One thing I've noticed right away, it just so smooth, it wafts.
A friend of mine's just gone and bought himself a new Kia Rio or something like that. Anyway, oh, there goes the sun.
Look at it glint.
Yeah, it glints. That's my little Luftwaffe gun sight. We drove around his suburb, and he was looking out for bits and like potholes on the road. He goes, look, my car can go over those potholes, and the whole thing shudders and everything creaks and groans. This car goes over those same potholes, and I don't even know that I've gone over them.
Don't even notice,
No.
absolutely.
The engineers at Mercedes-Benz basically designed and built this car to be a mini version of the S-Class. You have all the S-Class's buildability. They spent so much money on the rear suspension alone. They spent nearly, 600 million Deutschmarks in the 1970s on the development of this car.
That's crazy.
Which is, to put it this way, the average amount of development that Ford or General Motors would do for an American model was about 40 million. Basically box kites, with V8 engines in them.
Box kites.
Terrible.
Well, they had leaf springs, solid rear axle. I'm
Yeah.
assuming this had independent?
Yeah,
Or-
all independent all round. It's got a multi-link rear suspension, so it's basically Formula One technology. In 1983, they came up with the 2.316 Cosworth, which was the sports variant, and that just blew everything's doors off back in the day. Everything is designed in this car to be secondary to the driving experience, as opposed to modern cars, especially modern Mercedes-Benzes, which, I mean, I've sat in a couple of C200s. The lighting and everything else is fantastic, but it just looks like a Croatian pole dancing club without the girls. I mean, hideous.
So now I'm going to drive this car and see what it's like for myself. Check out this driving position. You got the beautiful gear selector, handbrake. Back when they had manual handbrakes.
Yes.
You know, this is how the single fastest way to attract a female. A well-executed handbrake turn.
Oh yes, absolutely. They call that a J-turn.
Yes.
And the reason why it's easy to attract a female is because they get shot into the driver's seat if you do it properly.
You pull it off right and...
Well, I don't know if you want to pull it off, but
I'm not going to do that now.
No,
Christ.
absolutely.
This is what it feels like to drive a Mercedes 190e. And what a beautiful road for it as well. The steering is so heavy.
Yeah.
You've got that nice weighted kind
Feeling,
of
yeah.
hydraulic feeling, which I miss.
Every day I get into this thing and it just surprises me. It finds a way to surprise me. And that can't be said about, I had a Nissan X-Trail, which was, just bought as a work car. And that was just, white goods. It was just a fridge that could actually move down the road and take me with it.
Honestly. That was a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed today's video, as always, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and follow along on the journey. And if you want to see more videos with John's 190, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
They call those sacco boards. See, it's loose there.
Sackbuck board.
Yes. 2 baskets on his bicycle. Do you think he's going to Harris Farm? He might be.